The ACB Arena with me, Brian Lacey, alongside Frank Mir at ACB 61. Astamirov in the blue corner, and Borисов in the red, and that almost Mike Tyson-like body head movement from Borисov kicks us off. Astamirov, that laser jab, very effective in his last fight. ACB 53.
Ooh, nice little teep two up the middle, using that front snap kick. Height is his advantage right now for Astamirov. I mean, he's going to have to avoid the takedown and get.
The commentator's curse there. Just
Borисov beat me to it.
Borисov, great level change there.
And he's just a bowling ball on top. He drives forward. He's heavy. He's compact. And actually, I don't really know if that was so much of what Astamirov did to get him off, or Borисov decided that he wants to contest this fight on his feet. But you would think with his height disadvantage that he would want to go ahead and inflict some damage down there.
Astamirov's turned pro in 2014, but has only had 3 fights since then. He seems to be one of those fighters that is more a training partner for others, which is a very important, vital part of the game. But 2014, 3 fights, not a very active fighter, but in ACB 53 showed just how dangerous he was. Got a TKO finish over there, was in some dangerous positions on the ground, had his opponent on his back, threatening with rear naked chokes, but once he got on top, rained down big elbows and got that TKO finish.
Hand fight right there in the middle, and he's using a superior height. Astamirov's is he's using the overhook, and he's reaching over to the far arm, the loose one. He's trying to get wrist position, wrist control. I think if he's able to lock that up, we're going to see him throw some pretty vicious knees. But he has to watch out for the overhand right, and now he's throwing the left hook afterwards. Borисov is, maybe that's why he let him up. He feels very secure with his ability to knock him out on his feet.
Oleg Borисov has a knockout of the night over Turil Regimov. Similar. Hit the body and then came over the top with that looping left hand.
Oh.
And for Borисov, he's always this height. This is how he fights. He's always going to be fighting somebody taller than him, so he's used to closing that distance, dealing with that. But for Astamirovh, he's never fought somebody of this height, of this stature. So it's him that's making the adjustments now.
You're absolutely correct. Sometimes, you know, when you are one end of the extreme, it's an advantage that you're always used to fighting people either shorter or taller than you.
Oleg Borисov started martial arts 16 years old. Combat sports in the army, boxing, which you go, oh, Astamirovh connected well there.
Yeah.
Nice body shot, doubles up on that. Nice sprawl from Astamirovh.
Man, this kid, for 3-0, look how composed he is. He has a bulldozer of a guy who has a ton of experience, fought for the title, in a close fight, loses it by one switch, and
look at the level change as well, threatening himself.
Wow, look at that double from the outside and turn in the corner like that. He's got the far hip. If he gets his hands connected, I think he's going to get this takedown.
But Borисov powers out there. You touched on it there, the composure of Astamirovh. That was one of the shining attributes that shone in Poland at ACB 53. Despite just the inactivity, being a pro for over 3 years. Comfortable in all positions, in danger in some positions as well. Just 40 seconds left in this first round. Pushing forward. Nice knee to the body.
Finally got that wrist. He's working for that all round.
Little short exchanges in here. They break. As far as one of the things you have to do as an opponent, say you are taking on someone more experienced and maybe a heavy favourite in this if you've come on short, is give them something to respect you by. And so far, Astamirov has shown on the ground he's quite a handful, but on the feet as well, some of those exchanges were very impressive and will have woken Oleg Borisov up to that this is a serious opponent in front of him.
It is, and I'm extremely... you know what? This first matchup on paper, I looked at it, I was like, man, I don't know about this. And now after seeing what I watched in this first round, this is very interesting. You're seeing the weapons here, the length, and the composure of Astamirov is really just, he's got me interested. I'm a fan. I'm paying attention to him now. I mean, I'm kind of hoping that after this, no matter how this fight goes, we can maybe convince him to fight more than once a year. Look at him just even walk back to the corner. I don't even think he broke a sweat going through the first round. Is he sweating?
Not at all. And when they're up against the cage just in front of us, the heavy breathing from Oleg Borisov was, despite the fact he was pushing against Astamirov against the cage, he was the one breathing heavier. Astamirov took his time, avoided damage.
Even now, the sweat, the heavy breathing is coming from Oleg.
So round two is underway here. Astamirov in the blue corner with the ACB shorts and Borisov in the red corner with the green.
I think Astamirov is looking to try to land that jab, but Borisov has a very powerful overhand right, and so he has to take that into consideration. If he throws the jab and just telegraphs it and just lets it draw out too long, he's leaving opening an easy shot.
Borisov looks for the clinch. Looks for the sweeps as well.
Ooh, nice foot sweep to a knee combination. Now we have the overhook.
Astamirov looking for that hook on the break as well. Both fighters shoot there, and unbelievably, it's Astamirov that goes in lower than Borisov. Great appreciation from the crowd of these little exchanges. They understand just how close these clinch battles are between these two. Hooks go flying there from both fighters.
Nice short right hand there by Astamirov.
Equally a nice powerful body shot there from Borisov.
He just has to be busier right now. If I have you know, a remark on Astamirov, he's just not throwing enough. And you know, Borisov is throwing less.
Oh, there's a right hand and the left connects there. Astamirov dropped to his hind, but pops straight back up. Oh, that trip that Borisov uses so well. We've seen it again and again in his fights.
He has a great inside trip. He throws it on the leg and then uses the underhook on the other side to throw you over and does it properly.
And that's where that short center of gravity also comes into play. Matched with the muscles on him, and unbelievably, I've interviewed him a few times. He does no weight training. This is genetics we are looking
He won the lottery at birth there.
Over halfway gone in this second round. Astamirov again just looking composed, taking breaths, forcing Borisov to work, making him earn every single, threatening there himself with his hips.
And I think that if he just had more fights, we would have more to build on. I mean, he has obviously a lot of rounds in the gym, but gym is not fighting, you know, and you're simulating it, but there's nothing replaces actual time inside that cage. And so, you know, he's very relaxed and composed. You know, obviously a lot of rounds fighting in the gym, but as far as, you know, that extra level, like that, let's go for the kill a little bit, you know, and I can see now a guy that I think has sparred more rounds than he obviously has ever fought. You know, you have to have a proper ratio. Sometimes you get guys, and I've seen them, and you hit that point in their life that they just, too many rounds just rolling with guys, just sparring, and you kind of lose that edge because you bring that sparring mentality to the fight. And it's almost kind of like what we're seeing right now from the difference is that, you know, Borисov is not sparring. He's throwing shots to try to put his head into the next, into the front row here.
Oh, big hooks exchange. Speed that Borisov throws as well.
Very explosive athlete.
That was
too far away, not set up.
Not set up, and tired as well. Looked like a slower entry than we've been expecting from Astamirov, but understandably so. When Borisov threatens with some of those hooks, maybe that's the warning shot that we need to close that distance and not give him those weapons. Seconds left.
Astamirov still has a lot of tools that are very impressive that, you know, to work with. I see way more upside than downside. Just that at this point, it just he has to be more active. You know, 3 fights since 2014, just not enough fighting. You know,
big breaths there from Oleg Borisov. And what's going through his head as well, he's had to prepare for a different opponent, a different style. Kalimov is much more a ground fighter, an absolute wizard as far as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. What he's facing now here is an awkward stand-up fighter who's actually very well-rounded in the clinch as well.
Plus, too, there's a little bit that comes with the fact that when you're at the level that Borisov is, facing a guy who's 3-0, who's only had, you know, since 2014, 3 fights, you can't even afford a close fight. You know, so sometimes you put undue pressure on yourself where it's like, well, not only do I need the victory, but it has to be a victory. Like, I have to show that I'm the dominant guy here, that I'm in line for the next title shot. You know, I can't have some replacement guy that was the sparring partner for the guy I was supposed to fight, you know, give me a hard time. And even though he's, you know, he's winning this fight, Borisov has to just not try too hard, step out and make a mistake because he's trying to force something to occur that's just not there yet.
We talk about putting pressure on himself. He was very vocal after the Peter Yan Magomedov fight. There was calls for Magomedov Peter Yan 3 to take place, and he was saying that's not a fight that should happen. He felt that this against Kalimov, but now Astamirov, this should be the decider for who goes in. Oh, it takes on Peter Yan in his first title defense, but oh, Astamirov is making it such hard work for him. Such a game fighter.
And Astamirov needs to keep pushing these exchanges because Borisov is a very explosive, very quick, but that heavily muscular physique, it comes at a price. You're not seeing guys built like him running, you know, 2 or 3 miles competitively, you know, races. You know, there's a reason why. And so the more constant they can make the pace for Astamirov, the more difficult it's going to be for Borisov. An athlete like Borisov, he's going to explode, be quick, but he needs those moments and those lulls and breaks in the fight for his anaerobic capacity to rebuild up for that explosion again.
Grueling battle going on here against the fence. You talk about that anaerobic gas tank, aerobic gas tank.
And that's what he's doing right now. He's not really trying to get a takedown. He's got his shoulder leveraged in there, Borisov does. You know, he's throwing the occasional knee to keep her away from him. See, and then now he exits, throws a hook. Okay, now we're going to fight again.
Astamirov now pushing him backwards. Oh, short exchange from both fighters. Not many people have been able to take that from Borisov. Borisov has a high knockout rate. But Astamirov has eaten 3, 4, 5. Big overhand rights and lefts from Borisov, and they're still there.
Inside leg trip try coming again.
Borisov sets this up so nicely, gets that clinch.
Oh, they were hip to hip, same position as last time, but oh, short uppercut there by Astamirov again.
Working it again, the dirty boxing inside. This is getting dramatic now. And Borисov wants to change where this fight's going. And that in itself is a great thing. Keep the fighters guessing, keep your opponent guessing. Switch it up.
Oh. He conceded the takedown. I thought he was in a post and try to twist back up and belly down, but by falling down here right now and just going into half guard, he's going to eat up at least a minute and a half off this fight. And I thought that Mr. Astamirov had his best opportunities there in those exchanges.
Borисov on top. 1 minute 45 seconds left to go, and you've got to say if he can keep this pressure, keep working so Herb Dean doesn't stand him up.
Yeah, now he's moved into half guard. That's going to buy him another 15 seconds.
Now looking potentially to stand up, use that fence. Good hand fighting going on as well in between there.
Head positions their battle.
Manages now looking to work his way back up, and does, to the appreciation here of the crowd in St. Petersburg. This has been the story of the third round, hasn't it? Borисov closing distance, controlling position rather than major damage going on. Did Astamirov just try and throw something up there?
Yeah, I tried to do a flying triangle and didn't even really...
Well, there's a training partner of Kalimova. He's got one over. I think Denis Mutznek. Potentially, I think he might have 2 flying triangle finishes, but I know he's definitely got one under the ACB banner. Maybe trying to mimic his compadre there in the corner. We are back to our feet, just 10 seconds left.
Yeah, you know, I mean, Borисov, you know, is a good fighter, but I can't believe that 3-0 guy, Astamirov, fought a very competitive fight all the way to the end.
And looks as relaxed now as he did as he walked into the cage. A tough fight there, but I'm with you. Let's start that position. I want to see more of Astamirov. I want to see him grow in the cage. But Oleg Borисov, such an awkward puzzle, isn't he, for fighters to solve, because he's heavily muscled, his skill set is good boxing, good judo. We'll see some of it here, some good big hooks exchanged between the two.
He's explosive, good fundamentals. You know, he realizes his height. You know, he does obviously, you know, he probably could come behind a jab, but makes guys miss and throws over. And, you know, when he throws hard and fast. So even when he's not throwing, you still have that memory of the last time his fist was whizzing past your head. And I think that slows down guys and makes them hesitate.
I may even have nightmares of that fist whizzing past my head. He threw with such power and ferocity, but we will find out what our judges think right now.